Alright guys, figured I'd shoot a little quick video before I head out today, so I gotta kind of watch the time here. Might do another one a little bit later in the afternoon. But got a few odds and ends here, had something mailed to me and stuff, and actually I think I'm gonna go see The Strangers, the new horror movie and stuff. I'm in the mood for a horror movie. But anyway, over the last few weeks, I haven't really been picking up a whole lot of stuff. So I looked around the house, saw some odds and ends. I've actually been working a lot in reading, actually reading stuff that I've had boxed up for a few years from the cons over the last few years. But first thing I want to show is I stopped by Ollie's again, and I went ahead and got this because I'm doing this thing, and I've been doing this thing where I've been just trying to collect and complete crossovers from the past. I've always been kind of spotting like Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover books. You know, getting a complete set of that, Legends, so on and so forth. Secret Wars 2. I think I did complete that. I'm not sure, but I got to check. So I picked up this for $4.20 after tax, a 4.20 if you will. Cracks me up. But this is a hardback from the Superman Batman series of the 2000s there, you know, kind of, you know, it's world's finest, but they just gave you a symbol. And this collects the Cullen Bunn issues. I think this is like from 78 to 84, number 84 or something like that, 68 to number 74. But anyway, I got it because it's got a tale of the Superman 1 million and Batman 1 million. And it actually has time travel in it. It's a series of short stories and stuff. It wasn't what I thought it would be, but you know, for $4.20, why not? I could throw this in the DC 1 million. If I run across the original issues, I'll grab them. And this thing's just kind of fun to read. I wouldn't go out and get it, but it has things in it that I like. They reference, you know, the unknown Superman. Basically, they get a Silver Age villain who there's a couple stories in here, but the one I read was Cronus, Emperor of Time, or something like that. But he's a Silver Age villain who can travel through time, and he gets his little hourglass broke, if you will, and he can't control going through time. But for some reason, he ends up getting thrown across 4 pages through the centuries, and he's always finding the legacy characters of Superman and Batman as they just throw him all the way back up to the 853rd century. And it has the Unknown Superman in, who, if you guys know, Unknown Superman popped up in Grant Morrison's All-Star Comics. And I kind of dug the character. It was a little mystery who it is. We did find out who he was. And it was kind of cool to see a little cameo of him in here. You know, just fun. It's just fun, not heavy. Something else that I had mailed to me. Really happy to get this. The Ollies around here didn't have it, but this is from an Ollie's 2 states away. It was mailed to me. But I love these trades. These apparently they came out with a series of Jack Kirby works again, but in this trade, these hardbacks are very light. And this is The Sandman by Joe Simon and Jack Kirby, same people that created Captain America. This is their Golden Age tales. This is really cool to find because this is the Sandman that wore the gas mask and the green suit and trench coat and has tie in, you know, 50 years later he had ties to Neil Gaiman's Sandman. But anyway, these are the early Golden Age Jack Kirby tales where they went more superhero with him. He got the gold and purple outfit, sidekick with Sandy and stuff. I used to read these as a kid as in reprints, backup features, and some Jack Kirby Fourth World stuff. I found it very interesting. So this was really cool. This is the complete works. And then at the very end of it, Joe Simon and Jack Kirby got back together in the early 70s, and they came up with another version of Sandman. If you're a Roy Thomas fan, Infinity Incorporated, Neil Gaiman's Sandman fan, you probably saw this guy pop up. But they even reprinted the first issue of the 70s Sandman where they went more, I don't know, 60s Batman with them. I don't know. It was fun. I have a couple of those issues and stuff. But you take off the hardback here. And I love how they do the covers to this when you take off the dust jacket. It's really light, and it's got like, I love the paper quality in it. I had the one of the Commandy issues they did this, and apparently they came out with a ton of stuff. I'm going to be tracking these hardbacks down, but it feels like print. It has a very cool nostalgic feel, and I just really like how this feels in my hand when I read it and stuff. So I'm very happy to have that. Another thing that I had, I got people out there. What's up, guys? All right. So picked up a few movies before I get to the cassettes and stuff. Right here. found this at a Goodwill. Ended up getting this for like $2.50 or something like that. We're missing the dust jacket, but it's the Legacy collection of the Bela Lugosi Dracula, the Universal Dracula, and on and on. This has Dracula from 1931, Dracula, The Road to Dracula with a documentary in it. What else do we have? The original theatrical trailer. But what's really cool is this has the infamous and famous Spanish version of Dracula. This was during the day. Bela Lugosi and the American crew would use the sets and everything and film Dracula, and then at night they wanted to tap the Spanish Latino film market. So they decided to shoot two movies at one time. So they had a day crew and a night crew. They didn't want to dub it, and this is in the 30s, so there's no telling what they were thinking. And it turns out the Spanish version ended up being the more cinematically, you know, uh, better movie. It was shot better. The acting was better, and everything like that. I like the Spanish version, but Lugosi is the best Dracula. Yeah, yeah, that's how I fit it. I still haven't watched. I watched the Spanish version years ago, but didn't stick around because I didn't realize what I was watching. You know what I mean? I just thought it was a movie, an old black and white movie, from another country they were showing, and didn't know about this back then. This also has Dracula's daughter from 1936, Son of Dracula, and House of Dracula. So I used to have a bunch of these legacy collections. I don't know what happened to them over the years. I probably sold them. But yeah, it's kind of cool to pick these up, here and there. I have the creature, the Frankenstein Universal collection is just fantastic. I used to have the werewolf, the werewolf, and I still have the creature from the Black Lagoon. Okay, another movie I picked up. I may have shown this in another video. I don't know if I would love to be able to find like a Ralph Bakshi. I should have had my coffee this morning. Ralph Bakshi. I don't know, film festival or even some kind of con to go to and stuff like that. Because I love these. I found this for $1. A sealed VHS of American Pop. I think this came out in 1980. Bakshi cartoons I'm very biased on because I grew up on them. They were in the house. I actually went to a college when I was 5 years old, community college up here. My stepdad and my mom took me, and we were in the auditorium, and it looks exactly the same the way I remember it. And they showed a back-to-back features of Wizards by Ralph Bakshi and another movie which is escaping me, and I can't believe that. But a couple years ago, I saw this, and it's rotoscoping. They Bakshi comes in there, hires actors to play out the scenes, and this one is just really good. It's like Americana with music, and it goes all the way up to like Jimi Hendrix, and I mean it's got Janis Joplin. It's the tale of three generations of an immigrant family, and somebody in the family always has a talent for music, and then you find out they start using the music to tell this tale of Jimi Hendrix, the Mamas and the Papas, Pat Benatar, Lou Reed. It's just a cool soundtrack when you watch this as an animated. Get on YouTube and check out some clips from American Pop. Very real, very gritty. Yeah, Lord of the Rings and stuff, right? Speaking of Bakshi, another thing that I got, and here's what's funny. I got rid of this years ago. Traded it in, get some other movies and stuff like that. And I started digging through there, and I found this used copy of Lord of the Rings on DVD. I have it on VHS. I've always had this. I grew up on this cartoon. I still have a VHS from like 1985 where the stepdad recorded a bunch of adult cartoon movies and stuff. But I think this is the very one that I traded in years ago. When I open it up and look inside, I'll know. I'm not going to say how I know. But I started looking at the box, and there's a mark on it where I'm sort of like, no way. So this thing has probably been bought, brought back, sold, brought back, I don't know, or just sat there, probably going on 5 years, and I'm like, I got my copy back, like my actual one. I don't know, that'd be cool if it's true. I found this for 50 cents, and it's kind of funny that with my accent and where I live, I'm going to talk about a old comic strip about a bunch of hillbillies. But this was fun. This is Little Abner, a movie that came out in the late 50s that has Julie Newmar in it as Stupefying Jones. This is a musical, and if you like classic movies with that cinescope, like, I don't know, colors in them, real bright colors and stuff, But this is a musical of the comic strip, and the comic strip was cool back in the day, about, about hillbillies and all this stuff because of Frank Frazetta touched it. Frank Frazetta actually had a hand in it, and I always figure Abner looked like Frank Frazetta. So this is the wholesome comical with sexual undertones back in the day from the 50s. And like I said, it's got Julie Newmar in it before, pre-Catwoman. So that's Stoop to Find Jones. Um, and like I said, it's just kind of fun. I look up the trailer or something. I think this came out in 1958 or 1959. And it was really a treat when it would come on. It was one of those things where you might find it at 3 in the morning out of the blue on TBS or something or somewhere when I was growing up. So that was kind of cool to find for 50 cents. Okay. And then one of the other things, I'll talk about that later. I've got another video planned. And then I went out and for 35 cents a piece, I ended up going back to like, I don't know, like it's like I opened a cassette holder, little cassette case that holds little cassettes and stuff in it. It's like I opened one from 1985 and I got these for 35 cents a piece and I'm like, yes, it's cheesy now. But I'm one of those people where like when I was a kid, I was on track with music. Grandmother played 3-chord rock and roll from the early 60s, like Louie Louie and Wild Thing and all that stuff. And then I was like into the music of the day, and I found some cassettes at a yard sale when I was about 8 or 9. I used to think it was when I was 7, and it had like some smooth R&B, like Percy Sledge and the Spinners and the Manhattans and all that stuff. I was on the right track. And then like the music videos came in, you know what I mean? It was like Lionel Richie's All Night Long and 99 Luft Balloons, and then then Def Leppard hit, and all these metal bands hit and stuff, and that's where we're going, man. So on cassette, 35 cents a piece. This is where I went wrong. I've had to make peace with where I was into the hair metal stuff. It's like I was listening to my metal, and then it was like I was listening to some of my punk, but something happened. I was young and stupid. I don't know. And then I remember getting brought out of it by first time I heard American music by the Violent Femmes. It was like bringing me back out. Got back into my Ramones and stuff, right? But anyway, here's Crocus, Alive and Screaming. If you never heard of any of these bands, it's worth a kick to go back and look up the videos. And if you were there, you're going to have like a soft spot for some of the stuff. But Alive and Kicking by Crocus, a lot of live stuff. Kiss, Animalize. Heaven's on Fire. I can't stand Kiss anymore. I really can't. When I was a kid, it was in the house. I planned 4 years of Halloweens with what order of each member of Kiss I was going to dress up as, and every year I did it. I was a Peter Criss Ace Frehley guy, and still am. Yeah, this is so funny. Dynasty by Kiss, right? The only reason that I got this is because it has Ace Frehley singing 2000 Man, a remake of a Rolling Stones. See if there's anything else on here. This is the one where they went disco, my friends. But we have 2000 Man on there. Just a great song. Just a great song. What else? Yeah, we'll get these out of the way. Love Gun by Kiss. That's just real nostalgic. I used to listen to that as a kid. It has Plaster Caster on it. Then it has a remake of an old 50s, early 60s. No, not the 50s. An old 60s songs of Then He Kissed Me. They did Then She Kissed Me with the guitar. Cracks me up. Then we get into some heavier stuff. We get serious now. We get real serious with Black Sabbath, Masters of Reality. Now we're getting serious. The real stuff here. I mean, this has Sweet Leaf on it. Orchid. Oh, man. Just good stuff. Into the Void. Okay, I mean, this is the stuff where I actually had I got a little dark there for a little bit, my senior year and stuff like that, because I would actually, like, turn out the lights, light up a candle that I had that looked like a skull. And when the skull the wax would actually burn into the skull, then I would just stick another candle in there, and wax just started forming down the skull and stuff. And that was my Black Sabbath moments. I would have a moment. Wasn't anything bad. I had that on cassette. Cool, man. We have Heaven and Hell by Black Sabbath. Cool, man. Heaven and Hell by Black Sabbath. I've never listened to this one, but I'm thinking this is when Dio came on, maybe. 1980. Yeah, Dio. Yeah, we'll see. I'm not going to say anything. This is where, Ozzy was gone way after that. Black Sabbath Paranoid, which was very cool to find. I don't think I have to get into that one. And then Iron Maiden, Life After Death. Oh man, just such good freaking stuff. I saw them last year with Scott Connor, man, and it was really good to kind of see them when I should have been seeing them back in the day. They got something cheesy, man. I just call Alice Cooper and got it, but this is his Hey Stupid CD, music, and not a fan. I'm not a fan of it. I think I like my Alice Cooper from the '70s. You know, billion dollar babies and stuff. Rat out of the cellar. Oh, invasion of your privacy. Excuse me. What's on this one? Is this one with Way Cool Jr. on it? You're in Love, Lay It Down. Yeah, Rat's one of those bands where I think they thought they were like the king of the '80s hair band. I think they were much more famous in their head, legendary in their head than they were. Scorpions. I have found out that my Scorpions are from the '70s. I've ran across a few songs there where I was just like this is the good stuff. I cannot listen to Rocky Like a Hurricane. I can't listen to it. I hate to be bitching. Well, I'm happy to find these, but God, Judas Priest, Defenders of Faith. Got some of the Priest in there. Love Bites, Eat Me Alive. I remember those. Yeah, Night Comes Down. Just fun stuff. And then got another Priest here, Hell Bent for Leather. And yeah, I think we all know about that one, man. This is the good one. Oh, Killing Machine. Yeah, Hell Bent for Leather. And then to throw in there, man, I found this, some Rolling Stones big hits, High Tide and Green Grass. Whoops. Always cool to have it. See, I have a cassette player in my car. And also have a little cassette player around the house and stuff, so. And the stuff I've been listening to here lately is called shoegazing music. I think it's spun out of goth, which spun out of punk and stuff. But I've been listening to a lot of Jesus and Mary Chain, mostly. A little bit of a band called Lush from back in the day. Head On, Honey. There's a song called Just Like Honey by Jesus and Mary Chain, which I think is fantastic. So when I'm chilling out around the house, I'm listening to that stuff. Lips Like Sugar, things like that. The Killing Moon. I don't know what's going on. You don't need to listen to that stuff when it's gloomy. So I'm gonna take off here in a little bit and play some metal on my way to the movies and stuff, and see what else I can find today. See what time it is. All right, guys. I got about 15 minutes to kill here. If anybody's got any questions or anything, I might do another one a little bit later today. Been reading, finally got around to doing this, reading some Strontium Dog from the '80s here. This is from England, and a couple years ago, I said this before, a couple years ago, I turned around and bought a short box of nothing but like imported comics from England, probably, out of 2000 AD and things like that. And one of the things that had in them was Strontium Dog here, right? And I remember flipping through a few issues. This is a one-shot special from 1987 with it. I have more downstairs. But I read this and I saw it was the same people, same guy who helped create. Check out the band Ride for some good shoegaze music. All right, Dave came in there. He knows what shoegaze music is. All right. So I sat here and I flipped through this a couple years ago, and because I wanted to talk about it in a video when I was doing the haul video. And oh my God, I said that it felt like it was just a ripoff of Judge Dredd. And apparently, I heard from some Johnny Alpha fans that corrected me. And it was deservedly so. I read about 6 pages into that, and I said, whoa, I'm stopping because I need to be awake when I do. I was kind of unwinding to go to sleep, and I was just kind of reading it, and I'm like, this is good shit. So apparently Johnny Alpha is the man in this. Apparently the premise is that mutants are hated. We've had nuclear war or something. And mutants are hated, so they end up becoming mercenaries out in space because they're not allowed on Earth. I'll do a better review when I read it and stuff. And it shows Johnny Alpha, one of the mercenaries, the bounty hunters, if you will, are called Strontium Dogs. And they track down like escaped criminals, whatever they're hired for, bring them back for a bounty and all this stuff. And I'm reading this and I'm sitting here like, this is some good shit. I might be a fan. I already know the fate of Johnny Alpha. But it was one of the first times on this channel I had some backlash, and I was like, yep, I had that coming, So, yeah, that's something I might talk about a little bit later. Okay, guys. All right, if nobody's got any more questions or anything like that, I might do a little stream later today, depending on what happens when I go out. So, all right, guys, later. Thanks for popping in there. Like, subscribe, share the video, all that stuff. Later, guys.